Since stepping foot on the 40 acres, head coach Steve Sarkisian has made move after move improving the Texas Longhorns, with his incumbent staff gone and now bolstering his own high-powered recruiting staff, including on the defensive end, Coach PK, the defensive coordinator, on the D-line, Bo Davis, and of course his rainmaker in Banks. And he's also going to be ringing up the tight ends, talking about Coach Banks. But Coach Steve Sarkisian continues to make move after move. But what's the biggest move Coach Sark needs to make to improve the Texas Longhorns? It's going to be on the offensive line. That's going to be where he needs to make that move. And running Coach Sark's offense in the Texas Longhorns, the quarterback will need time in that RPO, right? He wants to hit that read, that 1, 2, and third progression downfield, ripping the ball all the way down to Jordan Whittington for touchdown after touchdown, and having the offensive line block for Bijan Robinson on his way to Heisman hopeful dreams, right? So that is where Coach Sark needs to focus on, in my estimation. The wide receiver talent will come. The running back talent will come. Overall, the skill position talent will come. But what hasn't come is offensive line talent. And first-round draft picks have been far and few between on the Texas Longhorns, as it's been over 10 years since we've had a first-round draft pick. And I believe that there might be a couple already on the 40 in this group. So the two things that Texas needs to do in order to do this, in order to have offensive line success, the first thing it needs to do is develop the talent that it already does have. Second, it needs to recruit dominant offensive linemen that fit your game. And I do have a couple of offensive linemen that fit that game. But first, before we talk about the recruiting, let's talk about the guys that we already have on the 40. Texas already has 9 4-star offensive linemen already on the campus, guys, and those are the guys that we need to develop. We need to develop sophomores like Jalen Garth, Isaiah Hoofkin, Jake Majors from South Lake Carroll might be the... Right, where was I? Isaiah Hoofkin is only a sophomore, guys. Jake Majors might be, potentially, probably is the most talented offensive lineman that we have on the 40. He's a center, playing the most important position on the offensive line, if you ask me. And he has that first-round potential, guys. He is what we need. We need to nurture and develop that. Jake Majors, very important to develop that. Logan Tyler is just a young pup, 4-star that we also need to improve. Christian Jones has spent some time on the 40, still has some time. We can still develop and nurture him. Andre Currup, probably going to be the second best offensive lineman we have here on the 40. Going to be from South Lake Carroll. Potentially going to be one of those offensive linemen that can go in the draft for the Texans as well. Tyler Johnson, yet another 4-star sophomore. Flood and Sark need to develop these guys into NFL players, and Majors especially can be a first-round offensive talent in my personal opinion. So those are the guys that we have on the 40. Those are the guys the Texas Longhorns do in fact have. So we need to develop them. Coach Kyle Flood needs to get on them, and I do believe that we will see that improvement down on the line, as Coach Herb Hand could absolutely not get the job done, and Coach Steve Sarkisian and his new group of assistants absolutely can. And let's see if they will. So the guys that we do need to get on the 40, the guys that we do need to get, we need to get top major recruits. Those are the guys that we need to get on the offensive line, and we need to get the top major recruits that fit our scheme. And of the top recruits, we have 2 major tackles coming in the great state of Texas. I believe we're going to get one or the other when it talks about these guys. I'm first going to talk about the exterior offensive linemen, and then I'll bring it in to the interior guard. I'll start talking about the offensive guards. But coming up first is going to be from Humboldt, Texas, playing in Summer Creek High School. That's going to be Kelvin Banks. He's a 5-star recruit, 6'5" on the offensive tackle, has that offensive tackle frame, is the number 1 offensive tackle prospect in the great state of Texas, as he is a 5-star. He is a bit of a lean to Texas A&M or Texas is going to come down to the pike, as it is going to come down to one of those 2 schools for the great Kelvin Banks. And the other guy that is going to be the one or the other by my estimation, and I do believe it is going to be Mr. Kim Dewberry out of the 2 that we do get. He's going to be the 4-star, going to be from Humboldt, Texas. He is also going to be from the same place that we did have in their offensive linemen come out of there as well. So we do have a little bit of pipeline coming from that school as well. But coming from Humble is going to be a 4-star, nationally rated as the 100th recruit in the nation. Cam Dewberry is, I believe, one of the guys that we are going to get on the offensive line in the class of 2022. But making an emergence in believing, I believe he's going to come to the campus on June the 18th. Talking about Cameron Williams from Duncanville, Texas. We are a bit late to the party. Texas did offer this massive offensive tackle prospect, 6'5", right around 365 pounds. He is in the top 300. He's a 4-star recruit, but he does need to lean out that body as he is right around 360 plus. But he does have that frame as he can reach you across the room, has the shoulders, can dip with the hips, has what you do need. But he does have the athleticism to move that big body as well. Cameron Williams, someone that the Texas Longhorns have been making a good positive push. And whenever the Texas Longhorns get him on the 40, I believe on June 18th, we will get that commitment from this Duncanville class of 22 prospect. But one of the guards I definitely do feel good about on the offensive line is going to be Connor Robertson. He's going to be the 3-star nationally rated recruit. He's going to come from Westlake High School. We already have a bit of a pipeline coming from the Austin Hills area high school. But with that being said, he has been a crystal ball to the University of Texas for quite some time now. So hopefully the Texas Longhorns can, in fact, seal the deal on him. Moving on to the offensive guard prospect, and this next prospect is the most important prospect of all in the class of 22, in my personal opinion. That's going to be from Arlington Bowie, already wearing the color, already flashing the horns, already wearing the right logo. Talking about DJ Campbell, Devon Campbell, the 5-star OG offensive guard, the absolute road grader. Been talking about this kid for just about 8-9 months for a while. Absolute beast, the number one get in my personal opinion in the class of 22. 6'3", right around 310 pounds. Absolute beast of an offensive guard. Has the athletic ability to get out there and pull. And whenever he does pull, he just straight runs people straight over. Once the DJ train starts going, everybody gets out of his way. All the smart people get out of his way. The number one get in the class of 22 by my estimation. Devon Campbell, cannot say much more about him other than he has been crystal ball by 247 Sports ever since I've started out the program. Mike Roach, Nick Harris, Brandon Drum, all these guys do in fact have the crystal ball on DJ Campbell to the good team, to the Longhorns. So Coach Steve Sarkisian and Coach Kyle Flood just need to bring home DJ Campbell. But moving on to an offensive guard position, this one might not be as much of a highly rated profile player, not as much of a slam dunk. Not that DJ Campbell is a slam dunk at all, but I'm talking about Cole Hudson. Also going to be from Texas, going to be from Frisco, Texas. Might have the potential to move out to offensive tackle, but let's talk about him being an offensive guard, as that's where I do potentially do see him playing at the collegiate level. He is 6'4", just under 300 pounds, 340 rated by the 247 Sports. Number 12 offensive guard in this class. Not necessarily a must get, but we do need to get kids just like Cole Hudson. Without a doubt, is Coach Kyle Flood does have to bring him in, and he does have to coach him up. We do have the 9 4-star players on the talent on the roster, so we do have the talent. We need to develop Jalen Garth, Isaiah Hoofkin, Jake Majors needs to develop and to be an all-star, Big 12 performer this year. That would be great, but we need him to anchor this offensive line. So if you ask me, in my personal opinion, Coach Steve Sarkisian, yeah, man, we're gonna get those skill position players. We're gonna get the running backs. We're gonna get those slot receivers. We're gonna get those speed guys. But what we need is the up front. We need the hog mollies, because running his 1, 2, 3 progression style of RPO offense is you need time, man. You need time for that quarterback to stay upright. We don't necessarily need the dual threat guys, as what he does covet the most talking about Steve Sarkisian from a quarterback is accuracy. And you cannot be accurate if you're running around all the time. You need time to sit behind the line. You need your jersey to stay clean throughout the whole entire game. And you need to have that 1,000-yard rusher. You need that dominant offensive line to run the Steve Sarkisian offense, in my guesstimation. What are your thoughts on that, man? What are your thoughts? Please subscribe to the channel, as I did just reach over 1,000 subs, so I very much appreciate the love and support from you guys. But offensive line is where it needs to improve in the class of 22, by my estimation, as we did only have 2 3-star offensive linemen in the class of 21. With that being said, keep your head to swivel, your eyes on Texas. Horns up. Thanks again for watching, and be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the little gray bell so you are notified as soon as I upload new content. Keep your head in a swivel, horns always up.